So if you're like me and you have a Windows laptop or PC, and you have a lot of sensitive information or things like that on your computer, and you're just constantly, especially friends who have like a Mac or something, keep telling you, it's not secure. And I would say that's probably not true. Like, they both are quite secure operating systems. However, there is that risk of Windows because they allow for installation from third-party apps really easily, etc. They don't have the best sort of inbuilt store where they can really monitor and guarantee each app. I think that there is always that risk of you're downloading a virus, especially if you don't know what you're doing. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to set up a sandbox on Windows laptop or PC using the software called Sandboxie, which is free and it's really great. And the setup can be considered a bit of a hassle, but if you consider the upsides of it, which is basically you might even get a virus, but it won't be able to access any of your sensitive information because it's essentially encapsulated within this very small part of your machine or your sort of storage, and it can't really go past that, which is why it's called a sandbox. It's like a box, and everything you download is first initially only placed in there, and you can sort of choose what you want to bring out of the sandbox, and you can still use stuff in the sandbox, right? However, it just can't access other stuff. So I think this is really good, and this is like the best way to avoid getting viruses or anything in the future. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Hey guys, so welcome back to this portion, and as you guys can see, I am recording quite a bit after the intro was recorded. That's why the different haircut and whatnot. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So to download Sandbox, you can just go to sandboxie.com. So I realized that I think in about 2020 or late 2019, they actually switched from being by this company Sophos or something to actually being open source, which I think is great, right? Because everyone has access to this now. However, the installation process, if you go on their GitHub page, and especially if you guys are not familiar with any working with, I believe it's in C or C++, it's not the best to actually do this, like the build instructions or whatnot. So if you guys aren't familiar with coding or building apps, it's quite difficult. So just going to sandboxie.com is probably your best bet. And from here, you guys can just go on. The latest version is only available here. It can take you here. So alternate download. So I actually just hit the alternate download for 64-bit, and here. So initially it was really easy to actually just download like this right from here, but if you guys actually open up, like let's say I click here, so essentially this is showing up because I've already actually gone ahead and downloaded. If you guys can sort of see, if I type in Sandboxie exe, so it's just already installed. But I realized that once you actually go ahead to go and download this, it's a bit of a messy process. I just want to show you guys through that. Sophos, yep, right here. Yeah, so the download, so it's basically like this, where you accept, submit, whatnot, right? So it takes you through here, and just do this. Like, I don't know why they have such an interesting process. Like, I've never seen the UELA being so sort of big and stuff. It's just usually like a check mark, but you have to enter some information. So the thing I was going to show you guys with this, like a little trick, is to essentially have Temp Mail. So tempmail.org, this link. So essentially if you go here, it gives you a temporary email address that you can just put in, right? If you can just think of a random one, and this is especially useful as like a sort of hack. If you guys are downloading something from off some random site that's gonna email it to you because it requires email address, right? So then this is a really easy way. Just make up some name and just put in this email, and then it'll come up here, and this way you don't have to give your email to some sketch third-party organization or something that you're gonna only use once, where they're just gonna be spamming you. So I don't know why this happened, but it should work if you guys just click on Sandboxie. And I believe what it does is that it finds out, it gives you this download key. If you guys can see at the bottom here, at right there ish, right, the download key. So I believe if you have already sort of filled out the UELA, it just gives you a download key, and you can just go hit 64-bit. So once you guys hit that, I'll just walk you guys through the installation process too. It's pretty simple, standard thing. So
Yep, so here it comes back. So it's gonna give you that pop-up. You just select OK. Then here we have overwrite / upgrade. I'm just gonna do that, but I don't think that would even show you that part. It would just be like, install, accept the terms, whatnot. Just hit OK, because yeah, this is pretty reliable. This has been up for a very long time, this project, and now that it's open source, it's even better. And yeah, so this is a part. So I'm not going to go over if the thing fails here, if this step fails, because it is quite a bit more. You have to go into your BIOS, and if you don't know what that is, you have to do some steps there. But I'm just going to go through because it worked for me. Finish the wizard. So I'm going to briefly show you guys how to run through this. Alright guys, so once we have this sandbox open, you guys will probably see a default sandbox, and you guys don't really need to create a new sandbox. If you guys want to, there's you can set up multiple different sandboxes once you get in the hang of it, but I think it's very important for you guys to sort of understand it a bit more. So I'll just show you like a basic run through. So let's say you're going on to some website that you probably don't trust, and that might be downloading stuff, right? So all you need to do is run sandbox and just run web browser. So depending on what web browser you have in, so it opened on my other tab actually. Give me 1 sec, it's just loading up. So yeah, this is gonna be a bit slower because it's running a bunch of stuff in parallel, right? So it's just running that. So yeah, so this is my sandbox. As you guys can see, it gives you that yellow thing. So it's sort of like using just using a regular browser. It loads my custom thing here that I built. It's a custom new page for a calendar and email. So yeah, so it's pretty simple. And as you guys can see, if you're visiting some sketch site, I don't know, whatever you guys are visiting, you guys can visit. And if it starts downloading something, all you guys need to do is just close it up, and then go in Sandbox, and it just should close up. And if you want, you can just go and terminate programs and just terminate that Chrome thing, or right here as well. So you guys can just delete the contents, because everything that's going to be downloaded from that Chrome thing is actually going to be downloaded into that sort of small part, or that's my sandbox, and you guys can delete the content, explore the content, right? So yeah, so as you guys can see, this is the default box that it created. And there's nothing much here. There's user. So I believe this is the actual Chrome user in here. So yeah. So as you guys can see, it creates like this sort of part of the file directory, and it can't go anywhere outside of that. And you guys can run custom apps as well. I'll just show you that real quickly. So you want to click you can click run any program, right? Which is quite nice. So you guys can just go here. But I believe that's if you guys don't know the exact program name, run from start menu is probably your best bet. So you can just click on that, go on programs, and from here this is sort of more what you find in like a Windows start menu, and you guys can go through a bunch of stuff. You guys can see all the different stuff I have installed on my PC and whatnot. So yep, and actually when you open it first, it should give you this pop-up of like add stuff to your sandbox or stuff like that, and automatically detect some software. You guys could say okay, but I just think that slows down your computer a bit on startup. So I'll just say don't show again, don't do it, and I think that's best. And once you guys get a hang of it, and if you guys actually are interested in checking out more of Sandbox, like how to set it up, what exactly goes down, sort of the technology behind it, let me know in the comment section below, and we can definitely make a video on it. But in conclusion, I definitely do think the Sandbox is a very good way of actually just of actually making sure that like if you do get a virus or some malicious file, that doesn't really spread to the rest of your computer, and you're actually safe. So yeah, and plus the performance hit isn't even that big. It's fairly lightweight, I believe. So yeah, so that's been it for this video. Like the video if you guys enjoyed it, dislike if you guys didn't, and leave a comment section below for what videos we should cover next, feedback, whatnot. But that's been it for me. Peace.